I'm Teekosey, and thanks for joining me for this quick prediction of the Triple G versus Daniel Jacobs fight, scheduled to take place in a couple of weeks. As I say, this is a quick prediction, so I'm not going to go into too much depth, but I want to hear from you, the people that are watching this video. I want to hear who you are predicting, so get on the comments section, hit me up with some comments, and I'll get back with you with some debate on this fight. Also, remember to hit the subscribe button to hear more from me in the coming weeks. And if you're a heavyweight fan, remember to check out some of my more in-depth heavyweight breakdowns and also my heavyweight rankings for January 2017, which will be changing imminently. So, as we say, this is Triple G, Daniel Jacobs, and this is for many of the notable middleweight world title belts. Now, my prediction is that this is going to be yet again another stoppage victory for Triple G. I think a lot of people are thinking that Jacobs has a real chance in this fight. Now, Jacobs he's a high-level guy. He's a knockout specialist himself. He's knocked out the majority of his opponents. He only has one defeat on his record against Pirog some years ago where he was stopped himself. But apart from that, he's been on a pretty savage run of stoppages. Now, he lacks a bit of class and skill, but he makes up for it with pretty good speed and an ability to close the show, which for me is one of the key attributes that any boxer needs, because if you're unable to close the show, it makes it more difficult for yourself in the long run. Now, as I say, a lot of people are of the opinion that Jacobs has a real chance, and they're taking this off the back of the Kell Brook Triple G fight, where Kell Brook appeared to hurt Triple G at the very least. Ultimately, Kell Brook was stopped, and it was assessed to be a gallant and brave attempt by him for jumping up the weights, despite the fact that he was definitely big enough for middleweight, and he's probably far too big for welterweight. But as we say, he appeared to at least hurt Triple G at some point. He made him stagger, made him think about what was going on. There was that highlight shot that seemed to kind of make Triple G think about what was going on. But ultimately, he took it in his stride. He continued to fire back shots. And let's be real, he broke Kell Brook's eye socket. Kell Brook eventually was unable to continue. For my opinion, I think, as I always do, I think that the corner man should have let it continue. He didn't. You really need to look back at Triple G's career to date. He's basically stopped pretty much everyone. He's never really looked in that much trouble. He's been devastating in his own offense. I think it's unfortunate for him that there hasn't been a notable or standout opponent to date. And I'm of the opinion that he has that same kind of problem that Wladimir Klitschko has had in the past, where for years it was Wladimir Klitschko. Is he one of the greats? He's not one of the greats because he hasn't been anyone. But the problem is that he virtually fought everyone out there and pretty much beat everyone. If we say pre-Tyson Fury, he was beating everyone was put in front of him, all the mandatories. There's realistically only two, maybe three people that you can pinpoint that he did not fight for one reason or another, or that he could have potentially fought through the years where he was so dominant. So you really have to say that he beat everyone was in front of him, and that's that. And I think Triple G probably has a similar sort of problem here, whereby he's been the champion, or he's been a world champion for, I think it's like 7 years. He's defended the belt God knows how many times against everyone that's been put in front of him. And yes, there are a few guys that he probably could have fought during this time frame. He didn't. Some guys have gone on to retire. Some guys have moved up in weight. That is a bit of a problem. But he's fought everyone that was there. Now, in this fight, he is fighting someone who is regarded as a number 2. And if he beats Daniel Jacobs, we will be saying, well, it was only Daniel Jacobs. He lost before. He's lost again. He isn't brilliant. He was never really one of the top guys. And this will continue to be the case, which I think is somewhat unfortunate. But anyway, that's just a little bit of a rant. As I say, I think Triple G will win this by stoppage. And I'm going to say it's going to be a stoppage between the rounds of 3 to 5. Now, if you've got any comments on that, if you've got your prediction, I want to hear from you who you think is going to win this fight. Hit me up in the comments section. I've been Teekosey. This has been With Just 15 Defeats. See you later.